Hey everyone, it's August 22nd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with mass murderer and cult leader Marcus Delon Wesson, whose crimes are considered to be the worst in the history of Fresno, California. And that is him right over there. And having been to Fresno, that's saying a lot. Born in Kansas in 1946, Wesson was raised by his religious extremist mother who belonged to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. His father molested Wesson and his sisters, so they were glad when he abandoned the family to pursue an incestuous relationship with his own cousin. After his mother moved with the kids to San Bernardino in the early 1960s, he dropped out of high school and joined the Army, where he served in Europe. When he was discharged, he began dating a married woman in San Jose, moving in with her and her 8 children once she split from her husband. This was the start of what would become his family cult. In 1971, he had a son with his girlfriend, while at the same time beginning to cultivate a relationship with one of her daughters, telling her that God had chosen her to be his bride. In 1974, the 27-year-old Wesson began abusing the 8-year-old girl, and when she was 14, they legally married and she became pregnant with the first of 10 children they would have together. One of his wife's sisters left her 7 kids with the couple, and the adult children provided the group with all of their income. The family moved between rundown shacks, vacant houses, and even abandoned boats, and in 1989, Wesson was convicted of welfare fraud, though it seems that no social service investigation was done of his unusual living situation at this time. He was an abusive father and husband, often beating the children and forcing the kids to be homeschooled exclusively by him, with a focus on a handwritten Bible that taught that Jesus Christ was a vampire. He must have loved the communion wine becoming the blood of Christ. Wesson told the children that he was God and insisted on being called Master or Lord. The girls were taught that their duty was to become his bride, while the boys were told to prepare for Armageddon, and he kept the 2 groups separate for fear that they would become attracted to one another. He married 5 of the girls when they were between 7 and 9 years old, with each of them ultimately becoming pregnant. It's believed that Wesson fathered 18 children total, with 7 women and girls, 5 of whom were his own daughters. In 2004, he announced to the family that they were going to move to Washington State from where they were currently living in Fresno. Several members of his extended family came to the compound on March 12th, demanding that he release the children. Fresno police were called to what they were told was a child custody dispute, which initiated a standoff. The police claimed to have not heard any gunshots, but this is disputed by witnesses, and Wesson appeared at the door covered in blood. When they entered the house, they found 9 bodies, which were 2 of Wesson's daughters and 7 of the children/grandchildren he had fathered by them, with each victim having been shot in the eye. At trial, his public defenders claimed that one of his daughters/wives had killed the children before shooting herself. Some forensic evidence points to this actually being the case, but Wesson was convicted regardless, with the belief that he had forced the victims into a suicide pact in case of government interference in their lives. The jury found him guilty of 9 murders and 14 counts of sexual abuse, and he currently sits on death row, where he will remain for the rest of his days. I've heard that one of his daughters is here on TikTok, but I wasn't able to find her account, though I'm sure she would have much more information than I could ever possibly give you. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Marcus Delon Wesson, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.